We are living in uncertain times. In a season when it's easy to give in to fear, it's important we keep our eyes fixed on something other than our circumstances or the latest headlines. What we need in this time is perspective.
Hi, my name is Phil Wood, and I am a pastor at Redemption Church in Costa Mesa. And I want to talk about how we essentially calm down is the idea. There's a lot going on right now, and new news is coming out by the minute, by the hour, by the day. I just read updates even right before I sat down that we're essentially doubling the length with which we can't gather over 50 people. I just drove by Trader Joe's. There's a line around the corner in the middle of the day to get in. The gym I'm a part of just canceled all classes, and they're allowing people to check out the workout gear so you could work out from home, and they're going to create some kind of live. There is a real sense of chaos. There's economic uncertainty. We're not sure what's happening with work and with a lot of things. And so in moments like that, anxiety is real and fear is real. And it's okay. It's okay. It's a part of how we're wired as humans to respond to stressors like this. But this is the kind of situation that's so much bigger than us, and there's so much unknown that it's okay. It's okay that you're scared. It's okay that you're afraid. It's okay that you're uncertain. But you don't have to live there. We actually have an ability to tap into the spirit of the living God that's present to us, and actually enter into a space of calm as we learn how to enter into his presence. And so a lot of that is really tapping into prayer, but it's a kind of prayer that's called contemplative prayer. So it's not like you'd come before God with lists of things or agendas or like kind of talking points, but rather you're just coming before God with like an open heart and mind. And the way to do that is actually to be able to slow down and enter in. And so it actually has everything to do with our breathing and with how we come into praying with God. And so what I want to do is actually show you a little bit of like how you would enter into a space of contemplative prayer. We've been doing this a lot at our church at Redemption, and it's been really powerful for the people in the community. And so the idea is that this is an ancient practice that goes all the way back to the beginning of the people of God as followers of Jesus, but even before that, it's just entering into like a meditative, contemplative prayer kind of practice. And it actually hinges on like our ability to learn how to breathe well into that space. The word in Hebrew and in Greek, it's ruach, in Greek it's pneuma for spirit, like the spirit of God is the same for wind, it's the same for breath. And in fact, in Genesis, when God makes creatures, he breathes spirit and life into them. And so learning how to access your breath actually is the tool that God's given you to control your inner state. Do you have the ability to control your inner state and to bring it into God's presence? And you actually have the ability to like slow it all down, to slow your heart rate down, to slow your mind down, to slow your heart down and enter into a peaceful state so that you can be present to yourself and to God and to what's going on right now, so that you're not a victim of it, but you're actually like a partner with God entering into it. And so the reality, though, is a lot of us just don't know how to breathe. As humans, on average, we have 6 liters of lung capacity. We use 2 on average. We have short, shallow breathing that doesn't access our full ability. And they say 90% of our energy comes from our breath. And so we're operating at like a third of our energy capacity as humans, and mental capacity and emotional, spiritual capacity, just because of shallow kinds of breathing that don't even allow us to fully be present to ourselves and to God. And so if you want to enter into a contemplative space, if you want to learn how to calm down, it begins with breathing. And if you breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth, it actually has the ability to slow your heart rate and to allow you to enter into a peaceful space. And so something we've been practicing with our church is how to do that together. And so I would encourage you right now, just take a breath with me. I won't do a lot, I'll just do one. So long as you can through your nose, and then hold it for 2 seconds, and as long as you can out through your mouth. So now I would encourage you to do that 20 times. Each time count up to 10 and then count back down to 1. Put some earplugs in or some like noise canceling headphones. It helps if you can hear yourself breathing, because it would actually slow you way down and put you in a calm state. And then you can enter into a place of like contemplative prayer when you get to that space. And rather than saying a bunch, it's really just opening up your anxieties before God. It's actually a practice if you're breathing the Spirit in, because it's wind, spirit, breath, and you thinking, I'm breathing my anxieties and stress and pressures out. Spirit in, anxieties out. And you'll actually enter into a very calm, released, open place. And then when you get there, just meditate on one scripture. In this case, I would say 2 Timothy 1:7. For God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And just say that to yourself again and again. Take 5, 10, 15 minutes to do this. And just repeat it and contemplate it and think about it, about how it's true of you and how it's true of God. You're not a victim. This isn't going to last forever. This is scary, but you don't need to enter into a self-focused state of fear and panic where you're pulling in and only focused on yourself. You can actually enter a calm place to be the people of God who are poised for such a time as this. Because we are those who, like Jesus, the God that we know is a God of self-giving love who pours himself out for the healing of the world. And he says, and that's the people I'm making you to be. And you can actually enter into a space where when you calm, release, and enter into the presence of God and you recognize that he doesn't give us fear, but power and love and a sound mind and of wisdom, that we can then turn and be a resource for others with all that we have and all that we are. It's moments like this that define who we are as people, who we are as a church, who we are as a community. So I encourage you to calm it down, to release it, to enter into the presence of God, and then allow that to catalyze you into a voice in a person who can give yourself away for the good of others in this community, because that's what this time is going to require. And I think when we look back, if we live that way, we're going to recognize that this was a time that shaped and catalyzed us like no other, when the love and reality of God actually gets put on display for the world to see. So I encourage you, step into it.
Thank you for joining us for Perspective. We are a group of pastors and community leaders from Orange County who are pulling together to provide a fresh take on the crisis unfolding around us. We invite you to join us each morning for a new perspective on this ongoing pandemic.